it then.
Guys, you know you better watch out. Some girls only about that thing, that thing, that thing. My apologies. I know I can't sing. But with all the nonsense that just happened with Mr. Shannon Sharpe, okay, I could not help but to think of the lyrics of the infamous, of the talented, of the most beautiful Thornhill. How you gonna win when you not right within? That is the question to Mr. Shannon Sharpe. That is the question to you, to me, to all of us. Shannon Sharpe isn't very sharp. Okay, this man is not very bright. I believe he's like what, 56, 57, 58. He's almost 60 years old. The man could be my father. Okay, I'm 30 years old. This man is up there. And you would think like that saying always goes, with age should come wisdom. I think like the original, like the saying is like with age comes wisdom. We need to just revise that. With age it should come wisdom. How in the world? I had to speak on this, guys. Okay, y'all gotta let me know how y'all feeling about this, because like this is a lot to be said about black people, about black men, about people, about men, about women, white women, black women, about professionalism, about having discipline over your genitals, okay, your organs, your reproductive organs. I can't say the word, of course. About having just enough discipline and focus to not get yourself in the situation, because this man, Mr. Sharpe, who's not very bright, he's not very sharp at all. He had to settle a R word, okay, the grape case, and a sexual harassment case with a 19-year-old OnlyFans model. Yes, guys, this woman is nice. She's young enough to be his granddaughter. How does a man of his stature, of his wealth, of his wisdom, he should have it, right? At almost 60 years of age, how do you get finessed? How do you get tricked out of your spots to the point where you have to pay a 19-year-old woman, young woman, who's on OnlyFans? She's she's a sex worker, pretty much, a prostitute, a stripper, a video cam girl, just a freak, pretty much. How do you have to be demanded by the courts to pay this woman $23 million with an M? Okay, $23 million because you refuse to take heed. Everybody warned him, and it's like it's so much going on that it's like I can't ignore this story because he's not the only one. In this past, you guys may not know this. I say in the past like 2 months, I'll be paying attention. Okay, again, this is Geneva in general. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I don't just talk about women's basketball, sports, or like music. That's like my main topics I like to talk about. But I like to talk about an array of things. I say in the past 3 months, it's been so many men in general, of course, but like black men in the public eye, just getting caught up in all types of deviance and like just foolishness and crimes and lawsuits and nonsense and violence because they don't have any control over their lusts. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. If you're a Christian, great for you, okay? But when I was a Christian, when I was brought up in the church, they said one of the 7 deadly sins is lust. Like, that's a deadly sin. Michael Ward, he was an actor. He's a British actor on that show. I actually want to check it out because like Drake made it like really popular. Everybody's like, it's really good. It's called Top Boy. Okay, he plays like a drug dealer in the UK. He just got hit with 2 charges of grape like in the past week. I'm like, okay. Ben McLemore, he used to play for the Sacramento Kings, NBA player. He just got hit with 8 years, 4 months in prison on first-degree grape of a young 21-year-old Asian or white woman. I said, oh my goodness. And then, of course, P. Diddy trial, we already all was like, oh my goodness. And then the rapper Cash Out, riding around with that Nina, riding with Nisha, smoking on Keisha. I used to love that song when I was in high school. Rapper, him and his mother. You see how disturbing it is? It's not just him. Him and his mother, the rapper Cash Out, who's 34 years of age, rapper out of Atlanta. He and his mom was running an underground prostitution ring. They were trafficking young women, raping them, forcing them to do things, forcing them to sell themselves. He just got hit with like 3 life sentences. Like 50 years to life, add 70 years on, add another 70 years on. His cousin got hit with like 40 years in prison. His mom, Mama Cash Out, she got hit with 30 years in prison. And then of course like this, Shannon Sharpe, the lawsuit, because again, like, we have to talk about the hypersexuality that is like encouraged in the black community. Okay, I'm sorry, like, oh, it's always about race. It is about race. Yes, the Epstein files, Donald Trump. I don't care about none of that. Okay, I'm black. Okay, I wish the world, would all get it together, men and women, black and white. But okay, but I'm black, and I'm just talking about just like what I saw in the past 3 months. All these black men in the public eye, they're wealthy, they have all this money, they have women throwing themselves at them, and they just don't make good decisions with their genitals. They just don't make good decisions with their everyday lives because they let lust control them. It's to the point like it's like a fire that, like, when you have a fire in the fireplace, it's contained. It's like it's somewhat safe. When you take the fire out of the fireplace and just put it on the floor, the whole house will burn down. And it's like a lot of black men, again, like, I don't want to, like, people like, Geneva, why are you just calling out black men? Because I just told you in the past 2 months, like, people are like, I've been, following Ben McLemore, NBA player, Michael Ward, actor, Shannon Sharpe, Diddy, Cash Out. I'm like, what is going on? And that's just the ones I know off the top of my head. I know it's a whole plethora of black men in the public eye that just their lives and their careers have been destroyed over lust. It's almost involving a woman and them not controlling their lustful selves. And it just had me thinking, like, everybody warned Shannon Sharpe, to Monique, who was a guest on his show, to Cat Williams. He was an excellent and incredible guest on his show. Okay, it went viral. He told the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay, he was exposing the comedy industry, how people was, biting off his style, not giving him his props. Okay, shout out to Cat Williams. He's from Cincinnati. Okay, he a Buckeye. I'm from Columbus. Okay, born and raised. But everybody told this man. They said, Monique said, listen, why don't you, find a woman that's attractive, she's accomplished, she's beautiful, she's smart, around your age, or just even like younger, like say late 30s, 40s, 50s. He said no. He said, I don't want a good girl. I want a sinner. And again, that's his preference. Again, people can prefer what they want to prefer, but you got to be wise enough. You got to know what you're going to get yourself into when the ish hits the fan, when you take the fire out of the fireplace, like everything is going to burn. So he has announced that, he has been cut from ESPN. People are saying like he used to work for CBS, got fired. He used to work for FS1, fired. And now he used to work for ESPN, fired. Because I didn't know this, unbeknownst to me, until today. I was today years old. I had no idea that Disney is like in control of ESPN. Like, Disney, let's watch a Disney Channel movie. Walt Disney, that company for children. Well, apparently, they got, like, they're in charge of ESPN. And they're like, you know what? Us as Disney at Walt Disney, we can't just, we got to honor his legacy. We can't be employing somebody who got rape charges and harassment charges and settling for $50 million lawsuits. Like, no, we can't have this man working for us. So Shannon Sharpe announced on his YouTube channel, okay, in the Nightcap show, whatever he got going on, that, he's at peace. He's at peace with getting fired from ESPN. Like, woo woo woo. And it's just like, what is going on? Like, why can't black men, I'll be wanting so much better for my people. Why do they just refuse to just see the forest for the trees? This woman could be your granddaughter. There's no way. There's just no way. A 6-year-old man, he was always like just so funny. Like, he's like, like a country bumpkin. When like Cat Williams and Monique was like trying to warn him, he laughed and like, no, I don't want no good girl. I want a sinner. And like, it was just so funny to him, just so kikiing. Like, he was just like so gleeful at the fact that he's just like, he's very attracted to young women, which again, I guess that's his right. She's 19. She's a legal adult. She is of age. But it's like, you can find 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 50, even some, if she black, Latina, she can look really, really good. They look really, really good. That take care of themselves. They still enjoy, like, physical intimacy and stuff. It's like, it's not even like just about the age. That's another thing I want to talk about. Why do so many black men seem to be attracted to the lowest of women? It's like you could have dated, okay, let's be honest. It was just, transactional relationship. Okay, let's be grown. We're not children. We're going to be grown on this channel. Okay? Why can't he find a 19-year-old that's like, at Stanford, at Harvard, she's on her way to get a career degree. He literally went for a sex worker. It's like, what do you think he was going to do? What do you think was going to happen? What do you think she was going to do to you? She don't care about you. You don't care about her. She's like, like the conversations and the text message, it was very racially, sexually motivated. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to pay this 19-year-old young woman that can be my granddaughter $23 million before, because I don't want to be thrown in prison. She's saying that I raped her. I forced myself on her unwillingly. Let me just cover up this money. Fired. You're immediately fired. That's not a good look. You're almost 60 years old. When do black men grow up? Like, when do you Negroes grow up? I don't understand it. Michael Ward. Just all of them. Chris Brown got locked up because, like, well, that was like an assault case. He got freed now when he was over the UK. It's like every time I turn on my TV, it's a black man. It's a black man and black men in general on TV for violence or like sexual, like just not controlling their lust. They too old for this. Shannon Sharpe is lame. Even that little Instagram slip up, because again, people always like, want to question his sexuality, call him like, he's gay. He's in the closet. He's really into men because, like, the clothes he wear, it'd be tight, 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 tight. They say he look like he look like Miss Netta. And like when he had went live on Instagram, and it was like he was recording himself supposedly smashing a woman, and like he claimed, oh, it was an accident, and I didn't. It's like this man is a weirdo. He's insecure with himself, his sexuality, his physical looks. He's trying to like prove to us that he's straight by accidentally recording himself going live on Instagram. Sleeping with allegedly a woman, and then now this. It's like, bro, you 60 years old, just grow up. I don't understand why people just won't grow up. This is the same fool who said, like, when his daughters get married, or I don't know if she is married. He got 2 daughters, I believe, and a son. Or when she gets married, or when she did get married, he would only give her $30,000 max for her wedding. It's like, okay, you can do what you want to do. Okay, like that's your money. Yes, your daughter is grown. Your children are grown. They gotta do their own. But it's like, so you're just gonna give your daughter $30,000 to celebrate her union, her love, her marriage. But you're going to give a 19-year-old sex worker $23 million, more than your career earnings, by the way. He earned $22 million in his, 10, 15 years stint in the NFL. You gave this woman is now retired. She literally posted, thank you guys for all the love and support and your kind wishes. I'm officially retired. He gave that 19-year-old girl, that could be his granddaughter, generational wealth. And where do you think that wealth is going to? Her community. It ain't going to the black community. I mean, it's like a freaking, it's like y'all under spells. Y'all, and I say y'all, black people and black men in particular, but black people as a whole, we celebrate and we worship celebrities. We have a celebrity worship culture. We are under spells. Black men, you're under spells. You're letting your lust control you. If you black, white, male, female, I don't care. You people are under spells. You're under a spell, and it needs to be broken. You're under a curse. Because I'm literally like appalled. When I saw this, I'm like, I got to talk about this because this don't make no sense. Imagine getting finessed by your granddaughter. And I mean, she must have had enough proof in the messages and them text messages and them videos that they was like, listen, you either going to pay up this money or you going to prison. When will we learn? When will black people learn? When will black men learn? And this is not a game. You gotta control yourselves. Before, listen to me. This is the gist, okay? And I know y'all tired of me preaching to y'all. Like, who does she think she is? Nobody. But okay, this is just what I got on my mind. A little piece of wisdom. Let me just drop a jewel on you. Before you go out here, okay, as a man, specifically a black man, before you go out in this world and try to conquer a woman, conquer yourself. Notice all the men out here who got lust problems. They hate women. They forcing themselves on women. You either gonna end up in one or two ways. Either in the cage, in a grave, or in a cage. That's it. That's your options. Again, control yourself before you try to control the woman. Conquer yourself and your lust before you try to conquer these women sexually. I'm telling you, you're going to keep so much money in your pocket. You ain't going to have a bunch of children. You ain't going to owe no child support. You ain't going to have all these allegations on your name. You might not even go to prison. How you going to win when you ain't right within? Mr. Sharpe ain't that sharp, is he?